Hey y'all, it's your girl Coriel, host of the Girl Stop Playing podcast, where I get to encourage you every single week, twice a week, to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. I am here excited to share my very first reaction video. Okay, y'all definitely make sure you drop your comments below and let me know what y'all want me to react to because y'all have been flooding my DMs telling me that you want me to start doing these reactions, and your girl is finally here. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have been hesitant to do these reactions because you know how people like to cancel you in these internet streets. But you know what? I can only be honest. I can only keep it real, and I'm excited to share my perspective on some of the crazy things that are going on, some of these crazy shenanigans that are going on in these internet streets. Okay, and I really felt like this first video that we are going to get into, it's worth reacting to, okay? Because my audience is full of Black women and Black men who are making an effort or at least interested in figuring out what they can do to stop playing with their potential. And I think that what we're about to talk about today, what we're about to look at today, is a big part of what has been holding us back, okay? So, part one that we're going to look at is Lil Scrappy sharing his honest truth in a very transparent way regarding his childhood, his upbringing, some of the things that he had to go through, some of the things that he's still dealing with. If you have not seen it, we're about to get into it. So take a look.
Up in the trap house.
Yep.
So all I knew was that, you know what I'm saying? And I love you because you held it down and like you did what you had to do. But imagine you never had
child
to,
point of view.
you never had to sleep with your mama 24/7 because you couldn't go in your room.
Okay.
You never had to walk in on my dope.
Yeah.
You never had to walk in on my just you know what I'm saying? The way I was raised, I had to deal with that because everything that happened, I had to deal with that. And I'm still dealing with it because ain't nobody come and take me to give me no help. Ain't nobody got me no help. I learned about that when I got older.
Okay. So do you?
No, this real, cuz like this this in my head, my whole life, in my head. The I go through, I can't even go to her, she hard. I can't go to you hard. So I'm on the concrete, my.
All right. So this is what Scrappy had to say on this episode of Love and Hip Hop. Now, y'all already know reality TV is not always reality, okay? It's a whole lot of stage stuff going on these shows. But I personally feel like that was real, right? I feel like he was really emotional thinking about the things that he had to deal with, the demons that he's still dealing with, for himself. One of the things that I want to point out, and then we're going to get into Mama Dee's reaction. We're going to get into my reaction, then we're going to get into Mama Dee's reaction. But a couple of the things that he mentioned is not feeling safe in his home, right? He couldn't even sleep in his own room because of the drug activity that was going on in his house. So he literally had to sleep with his mother for God knows how long. So no sense of safety, no sense of security, no space to grow and develop into a young man. He was literally stagnant because he had to sleep with his mama for his whole life, okay? He talked about the drug use that he saw. He talked about literally still being hurt, still dealing with these demons. And one of the things that I thought was worth mentioning is that he said, he's still dealing with it because he can't talk to anybody. Now, this is a grown man who is married, right? His wife, Bambi, standing right next to him. And he's like, I can't even talk to her because she's hard. I can't even talk to you, talking about his mama, because you're harder. So the women in his life, the Black women in his life who he loves, are so hard. They're so tough. They have up such strong walls as these strong Black women, like so many of us have been taught, to be, that he can't even talk to them. He doesn't even have a safe space. Okay. And I thought that was, very telling because we often hear about, the premise of us being these strong Black women. And we are all talking about now. It's real trendy to say we're about to live this soft girl life, but it's been years and years and years and generations and generations and generations of Black women that have been raised to feel like they have to be strong enough to do it all, to carry all the weight, to, handle all of the burdens that comes with being a strong Black woman. We have to be resilient. We have to, show strength in everything that we do. If we're not struggling, we're not doing enough. And so I just definitely, felt some type of way as, a mother to a Black boy, soon to be 2 Black sons, and showing not the weakness of a woman, but showing the softness of a woman, because Bambi is a mother. She has 2 children. And so he's still referencing her as being so hard. And if he feels like as a grown man that he can't talk to her, that he can't be honest with her, chances are their kids are going to grow up feeling that type of way too. And then this cycle is just going to continue to be repeated. The one thing that Mama Dee already done said, okay, she already came out of her mouth before he could even get to talking good. She said that's a child's point of view. So this grown man, your son, your baby boy, who you claim to love so much, your pride and joy, right, is literally almost in tears, emotionally telling you about his experience, his point of view, and you're belittling him by saying this is a child's point of view. No accountability, like gaslighting at its finest, making you feel like your experience, it didn't really happen like that. Like, that's just your point of view. That's just how you saw things. So before we even get into her reaction video, she started off all bad. Like, I'm not even really listening to you because that's just a child's point of view. Your memory is not serving you correctly, is basically what she was saying. So let's check out her reaction. We got to do better. These Black men are hurting. Okay, they're dealing with a lot, because just as much as we have been raised to be strong Black women, we are still supported much more than Black men. We tell our Black men, don't cry, you got to toughen up, you got to man up, you got to be strong, you got to be tough. You have to literally be able to carry the weight of the world on your back and not complain about it. And then we wonder why, we get the results that we get. So let's see what his mama had to say.
I seen prostitutes, I seen selling drugs.
Let me go back.
What my son did to bring it out on TV, I seen prostitutes, I seen selling drugs. But yeah, bitch, but you profit off of that. You got clothes, you fed, all that. Because 2 years before that, I was in the head-on collision. Let's see the whole truth. Come walk. And I got proof. I got medical records. So at the end of the day, really, Scrappy? But that's okay. I love him. He's my son. I just want my kids happy. He's my son. I love him. Yo, and if somebody went against you, you know how Mama Dee act, I'm gonna turn on you first. So stay out of it. But just want my son happy.
Miss Mamas, now listen, a whole lot to unpack there, okay? First of all, she started out by saying, I know y'all seen what my son did. No accountability. Not starting out with an apology. She hasn't had time to reflect on the things that she did, take some responsibility over the experience that her son, her child had during his childhood. Instead, she turns this on him. She's blaming him. Look at what he did to me, telling her business, right? How many of us grew up in Black households where what happens in this house stays in this house? You don't go out in these streets telling my business. Like, that is like the death penalty, okay? If you go out in these streets telling people what's going on in my house. So no accountability, no responsibility, gaslighting to the utmost degree, okay? And she called the man a bitch. I mean, I cannot imagine my mother calling me a bitch like that publicly. I mean, she's never said it in privately either, but especially, a man, like your mother calling you. I can't imagine the things that she says to him in private. Excuse after excuse after excuse. She wanted to give you all the excuses why there were drugs and prostitutes in her home. She was in an accident. She couldn't drive. All of the reasons, the laundry list of reasons why she had to do what she had to do and how he benefited from those things. As a child, we've all heard people say, well, I didn't ask to be brought into this world. I was born into this. And in this case, that's the truth. So he may have benefited by default from the life you were living, the decisions you were making, but he also very clearly is suffering from those same decisions. And so I want to ask y'all, let me know in the comments, what do you feel like we need to do, especially as we are becoming mothers? What kind of conversations do we need to be having? What type of lessons do we need to be teaching our children? Because both Black men and Black women are suffering. And I'm all about Black love, right? I'm all about Black excellence, Black business. But guess what? The Black community is going to continue to crumble if we don't figure out how Black men and Black women can come together, how we can start seeing eye to eye so that we can literally start building these empires. The Black empire begins with the Black family. And so it's time for us to start having some conversations offline, right? Off camera. It's time for us to start having some conversations around what we can do to benefit and rebuild the Black community, because this ain't it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and send me some more videos to get some reactions to. That was kind of fun. Make sure you tune into the next episode of Girl Stop Playing, live every single Thursday at 8 p.m. and solo shows drop every single Monday.